Well, hey there, folks. I was finally not sick enough that I could go into work, and this is Slow End Computing. So, let me tell you what's going on today. This is the 7th day in a row now that we've been able to post a video a day. It is also a Sunday, which means it is time for Slumming It Sunday, which is a video idea that I've been kicking around for quite some time, and let me tell you, it has really had me thinking. The whole premise of this idea is we're going to go through, find the worst possible computer that you can still relatively expect that somebody might be suffering along with, and just see A, what can it even do, and B, can you play any games on it? Because, as we all know, that's what computers are for. They're not for work, they're for playing games. And the issue behind that was it was looking like I was going to have to buy a computer because no matter how bad any of my computers are, they're still better than some of the ones that I see people buy. So I decided to sort of look around on the internet, look around the different stores, and see what the worst computer you could get new, or even a couple years old, and see just what you could do with it. And it took me a long time to find one until I went to Micro Center. And then with these guys, if you go into the little search bar and you type in laptop and you wait for them to load, and then you go into sort by lowest price, just like you would if you were to get somebody like a Christmas gift or something, you're met with this. This thing is like a freaking anime villain. It just keeps coming back season after season. I think the first time I saw this was like 3 years ago, and even back then I was like, oh man, what an outdated pile of trash, eh? Who would ever buy that? And then it came back the next year, and the next year, and now it's back this year. And I think this is probably the final time it's going to be released because these guys run on Windows 10. This thing is cooking with an Intel Celeron 3450, which is about the lowest of the low, 4 gigabytes of RAM, which is barely enough to run Windows 10, and 64 gigabyte eMMC storage. Folks, I think this is finally the end of the line. Until I realized I actually have one of these. I bought this kind of as a joke. Let me go ahead and reset the camera here. I bought one of these as a joke. I found one in clearance. I think it was sometime like last year or so. It was for $50. I was like, you know what? I'll take it. I think I went in there looking for like a Raspberry Pi, and at that time, a Raspberry Pi was like $150. So it just made sense to grab one of these to run whatever project I was on it. But it got me thinking because since I already had one of these in my hoard, I didn't need to go out and buy another one. The problem was I was running some version of Linux on one of these guys, and we were doing some other weird project. Let me see if I can reorient you guys a little bit better so you can really see what we're cooking with here. There it goes. So I needed to get Windows on this thing, and I didn't have a Windows 10 startup disk on there. So I was like, all right, well that's perfectly fine. We can always create a Windows 10 startup disk. That's easy enough to do. Don't mind me trying to get this thing. There we go. Yeah, I love how every time you move this, it just like, I don't know if the camera's picking that up or not. It like creaks like it's going to explode or something on there. And the power jack doesn't like to fit in there. It's probably because I had to duct tape this hinge together. But with these guys, I decided let's just for fun, let's go ahead and try Windows 11. And sure enough, it didn't work. It looked at this computer and Windows 11 was like, no. And I was like, okay, well, maybe we could try something else. So I brought out the magic stick of Windows 11, the one that says don't bother with that whole TPM requirement. And wouldn't you know it, if we fire this guy up, this is in real time, by the way. Boom. Windows 11 circle right there. Keep waiting for it. It's coming. Boom. We'll go ahead and log in on this one. In all of its glory, Windows 11 on an Intel Celeron N3450. And let me tell you, it took like zero effort to actually put Windows 11 on this computer, which means we might actually see the return of the king next year. So the king of low-end, just pathetic, broken little computers. We might be seeing a return of this one. But it got me wondering, there are some folks out there that are going to be buying one of these. They're going to use the typical excuse, oh, I'm just using it to check the email. I don't need anything too crazy. Or my personal favorite, oh, I don't do much online. I just play a couple games. Completely skipping the fact that gaming is one of the most intensive things that you can do on a computer, especially a low-end computer like one of these guys. So, since I already had one of these, I figured we might as well just see what this thing can do. And to do that, we're going to go ahead and fire up 3D Mark. I want to do a time spy run on this, and I don't honestly know if it can do it. Now, with these guys, a few caveats to this. Windows 11 does actually run on this, and it does actually run pretty darn stable. I haven't had any issues with it. The issue is the chipset that runs this computer is not recognized by Windows at all. It has very, very basic functionality of what's actually on this computer. It can understand the trackpad. It can understand the keyboard. It can understand this USB port, although I don't know if it can understand this HDMI or not. I don't have a mini HDMI to test it with. But everything on this side of the computer, it doesn't know what the heck is going on with that. These are completely dead. Same with the speakers. Those are completely dead as well. So I've got this USB to headphone microphone jack on there, which we will be giving a try. I don't know if that will work or not, but we'll go ahead and fight with this cable mess I've got going on behind the slow-end PC. There we go. All right, green for audio. Oh, that fits lovely. And let's see if that actually... Ooh. Ooh, it doesn't like it. But Windows does recognize that it has speakers now. I love how it's buzzing. That's fantastic. Is that... Ah, there we go. It just wasn't in all the way. 3D Mark's still struggling to load. By the way, I don't think this computer can actually run this. But I want to test it and see what's going on, and we might clock it. Oh. No, okay, you keep doing it. We might actually clock in the lowest possible time spy benchmark here. Again, providing it even runs it, which I genuinely don't know if it will or not. Creak. There we go. I'm trying to adjust the screen so y'all can see it the best, and it's just creaking and crunching the whole time. I wish there was like a control light somewhere on here that told us what the CPU is doing, because I bet you it is just screaming. This computer never really put out enough heat, but you can clearly feel... Yeah, there it is. Ooh. She's loading in. Oh my gosh, this is chunky. She's getting it. This also, this took hours, by the way, to actually download on this thing. This took literally like all night to get 3D Mark even on this computer. And what's really funny is yeah, okay, thanks. Well, just remind me later. Oh, no. Oh, I don't want to double click that again. Okay, it's registering my click. There it goes. Fantastic. It's not even bringing up Time Spy, which makes me wonder if it can even do. Oh man, this is so chunky. Oh my gosh, this thing is so slow. Oh, this is going to be fantastic. Computers like this are really the whole reason why I started the channel. If you look back, we haven't even been a channel for longer than a year, but the whole idea behind slow end computing goes back like nearly a decade. And it's for computers like that. Yeah, thank you. Remind me later. It's because of computers like this, the ones that are just at the absolute bottom of the barrel for performance, but still somehow get the job done on their and upgrade avail. It's giving me a caution. I don't think we meet. Your hardware may not. Well, okay, may not doesn't mean is not. Can we try it anyway? Um. Ooh. Your GPU does not have enough VRAM. Oh, don't threaten me with a good time, 3D Mark. Let's go ahead and run this and see just what it can do. And folks, no, I am not running OBS in addition to this. This is what you're getting from the camcorder. That's as good as it's going to get. But oh my gosh. Okay, it is collecting system info. Let me go ahead and center y'all up over there and see if it'll even load here. If you can see it, keep an eye on this clock because I will be fast forwarding through most of this. Alright, well, I've waited just about as long as I care to. We've been letting it chug along here for about 16 minutes now, and it seems like all it's doing is collecting system info. I can help you out, 3D Mark. There is no info of value for you to collect. Let's go ahead and see if we can get out of here. So I'm thinking she's just about cooked. Still not getting hot though, so you know that's a plus. Yeah, it's not even giving me an option to escape out of here. All right, well, we'll just go ahead and close that and then try loading it back in. We might have to do the we might have to do the thanks for playing lap and run Firestrike on there. Firestrike used to be a really good test, and I guess to an extent it still probably is. It's a lot easier than Time Spy, but I was really hoping that this one might be able to put up some sort of number. But honestly, I think it's the RAM. It just doesn't have enough. These guys only have 4 gigs, and that's hardly even enough to run Windows, even on a stripped down version like this Windows is. It's just she gave it all she's got, but I don't think she's gonna get off of the JV team. She hasn't made varsity yet. Hopefully we can run Firestrike though. I would like to see some sort of benchmark from this thing, just so that we can kind of scale it to other things. There we go. Alright, let's give Firestrike a try. Let's see what it's got. Oh no, it's got to collect system info too. Oh jeez. I had to actually pause the video and put a new battery in the camcorder. I was watching it just drain down as the computer just sat there and didn't do anything. I'm going to be really sad if it can't run this one. Yeah, all right. I'm calling it. It's not doing anything. I do want to see if the computer's actually. Yeah. Yeah, she's just getting flogged by this thing and it's not doing anything else. Oh. It's still saying that it's not using all of its memory though, which I find very suspicious. Would have thought with 4 gigs it would have been at about 100%. I guess nothing is technically running. It's just saying that it's trying to figure out how the heck to actually run. Okay, so let's see if we can do some quick tricks over here. Right off the bat. There we go. Holy cow. All right, let's go ahead and this moving, changing desktop and everything. I know that Windows is a huge fan of it. I tend to not be because I think it just uses up too much system resources that we don't really have in and of abundance. The next thing that we're going to do is we are going to do adjust the appearance and performance of Windows. We're going to go for best performance, and then just because I think it works a little bit better, we'll go ahead and put a smooth edge of screen fonts on. We'll go ahead and apply that. And then one thing that I want to do is to get this computer to actually function and to work, there is actually like a cell phone antenna in here that if you rip that out, you can actually put in an M.2 SATA drive, which is what we did. But it still has the eMMC drive in there. So what we're going to do is we are going to see if we can find that by saying list the disk. We'll select disk 1 on there. And we'll go ahead and give it a mounting option. There we go. All right, now with any luck, if I'm remembering how to do this correctly, we should just be able to go into disk D. We'll go ahead and click on that. And it's been a long time since I've had to do this. I don't think I've ever actually done it on Windows 11. Poop. How do you... Alright, hang tight. Y'all babysit that for a second. I need to bring in some Google Foo in here. Okay, let's try... Okay, well, how big is the drive then? Does this thing not see the drive? Oh, gosh darn it. Come on, Windows. Okay, so that should be... There we go. All right. Oh, no. To restart this computer, that could take hours. Oh, no. Ah. All right, so essentially what we're going to try to do here is we're using the built-in hard drive on this computer as essentially like a giant paging file, which I don't think is going to give us any additional performance, but for the limited amount of RAM that we've got, it might actually do something. We'll let it go ahead and restart and then actually see what it might do for us. If it will even load at all. We got the... There it is. We got the Windows chime, we just didn't get any video. All right, let me go ahead and log into this one more time. All right, and we are back in business here. All right, everything seems to be working relatively well. I can't remember if Task Manager can see a paging file or not. Page file, yes. Okay, so it looks like, I don't know what the heck it's trying to access on the drive. It's probably just trying to get Windows functioning. Oh, this poor thing. Folks, don't buy one of these. In case that hasn't been said enough, these low-tier computers, they're always going to cost you more, whether that's in like headaches or just time wasted in the end. We picked this one up mainly just for fun. Yeah, you see, it's doing like an anti-malware thing, and it's just killing this little computer. Oh my gosh. Like, none of this stuff should be hard. These are all background tasks, and they're just flooring this thing. And this is like a clean install of Windows too. Like, I don't even know. What's trying to run here on startup. Probably a bunch of crap. Look at that. Oh my gosh, get out of here. All right, that might help us out a little bit. Let's go ahead and we'll try to run that one more time. While that's doing that, just because we're not doing enough stuff all at once. All right, we'll turn that off. We'll turn that off. Hopefully that'll free up some resources. We gotta divert all engine power to a 3D Mark here. But I think that's probably all that we can do. All right, let's see. This honestly, while we wait, this is one of the things that, especially with computers, especially like lower end computers, you really, really need to be able to update and like upgrade these things. Like if this thing had 8 gigabytes of RAM in it, it probably wouldn't be such a dog while it tried to do anything. 4 gigs is just not enough. 4 gigs wasn't enough in the Windows 8 days. It was shameful that Windows said that Windows 10 could do it. But 4 gigabytes on Windows 11 is an absolute joke. And it doesn't have a very good punchline either. Come on, little computer, you can do it. Come on, little buddy, you can do it. I know the camcorder doesn't have a prayer of actually hearing this. This thing has like coil whine to it, and it's like squealing right now. trying to trying to chew through this. Like every time I move the mouse, it's just like squeak, 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 squeak. It's so bad. Oh man, we're getting telemetry now. Ooh, boy, there was a problem updating the test. Well, you shouldn't have been updating it at all. I told you to remind me later. That might be causing some of our issues. I do hate it when you download something and then it goes, "Oh, we didn't download the latest version. You still need to update it." It's like it would have been nice if you had just downloaded the latest version when I told you to download the latest version. But okay, we'll go ahead and give Fire Strike one more time on that. If it can't do this one, we might just have to call it because I still got to kick this thing out. I've only got an hour and a half left of today. Because if I miss my streak, that's like that would be bad. We wouldn't even have one a week under the belt. But yeah, we'll let it try one more time. Hopefully, with that paging file, it might actually be able to do something. I do not have faith. But I have been surprised before, so we'll see if this thing can do anything. Yep. Nope. Nope. I'm calling it. Get out of here. Nope. All right. So the numbers are in. This one has a 0 for Time Spy. It is a 0 for Fire Strike. She can't do it, folks. That's not going to be the end of this computer. This is still representative of like the worst possible case scenario. So right now, all that we proved was you're not going to be posting benchmark numbers with one of these, which is unfortunate, but honestly not surprising. For anything from a computer that creaks every time you touch it, that was to be expected, if not a little bit disappointing on there. I was really hoping that it would run at least one of those, but I suppose we were looking for answers, and we got them. So, what do we do from here? I'm not entirely sure. If we can't benchmark the thing, then I don't know how we can really calculate any performance increases or decreases from anything that we'd want to do with it, which is tricky. So we'll have to find a different way to maybe benchmark this guy. We'll probably have to think outside of the box because, especially for slow end computers on there, your benchmarks might not be the most conventional. Like, honestly, even just something as simple as like a large data transfer or a Microsoft Defender scan could really put one of these guys on their knees. So we might have to do a couple different tests and see just what would be a good way to even test one of these guys. But either way, end of video. Don't buy one of these. If you have one of these, you're in for a rough one, but I'm sure there's still something that we can actually do with this darn thing. So yeah, stay tuned. Once every Sunday, we'll be trying to put this guy through more and more to see if we can get anything out of it. Either way, though, that's all that I got for today. Thanks for watching.